Hey guys, let's talk about last night's episode of Hart of Dixie. And it was okay. Okay. I have been quite critical of Lindley and George, and this episode we got a lot of them. And Lindley was a little less grating on my nerves. I still find her to be a bit too pushy, and I feel like the writers still need to write her a lot better. I want to really care about this relationship because George is a central part of this show, and I want to be able to feel as though his relationship could last long, and I don't know if I'm really feeling that at this point, but it was definitely less annoying from Lindley this week. They were having a track meet, and of course she got hurt, and then she had to reveal the truth that she's been dating George, I guess, to LaVon, and of course LaVon overreacted and freaked out, kicked George out of the race because they were doing a relay, and then George basically said, listen, you're not going to strong arm me, you're not going to put down an ultimatum, whether it's track or it's Lindley. I don't care who you are, I'm not going to bow down to that. And I kind of like that in terms of George being a man and standing up for himself. Should Lindley be the one he's fighting for? Well, only time will tell. And like I said, I hope they soften her up and not have her be so like man hungry, because she's kind of still that way and it's driving me crazy. And then we had Zoe and Joel off. Guys, these two, I mean, they were putting so much energy into trying to make the viewers like him. I guess he's going to be sticking around for a while. So in this episode, he had writer's block, and so he was trying to do everything he could to get his mojo back, and Zoe was trying to do everything she could, but unfortunately for Zoe, his plan was to hang around Wade, and I actually like the two of them together. Joel and Wade make me laugh, and I like that, you know, Joel finds some comfort in Wade, and Wade's wacky in his behavior, and they get along, and I like that. But unfortunately for Zoe, this drives her crazy, and she just doesn't want anything to do with it. So there was this really weird storyline going on with Wade and the girl that he used to date, her three brothers. And they owed money at the bar, and they wouldn't pay it. And George was like, Wade was like, well, then I'm not going to serve you guys. And then they kidnapped Joel. Ridiculous. But what it did do is it put Zoe and Wade in scenes together, which once again make us go, hello, writers. This is the pair that we are rooting for and we want to see more of. You're just proving our point that these two in a scene is magic. And of course, Wade knows it too, because he keeps saying, listen, you are just going to realize that I'm the one for you. And when that day comes, like, I don't know if I'll still be here, but whatever. So I thought that was totally cute. And of course, totally overbearing and cocky on Wade's part. But that is exactly who Wade is. He knows that at the end of the day, him and Zoe are going to be together. And I really, really do hope that that day comes soon. Because Joel, no, he's not cutting it. But at the end of the day, Joel is freed, and he gets his writer's block cured, and he's gotten all this information that he can now write about, and he's super happy, and he thanks everybody, you know, because this is what he needed. He needed an adventure to get him out of his writer's block, and it was successful. So then we have LaVon and Annabeth. And of course, LaVon is freaked out from what Annabeth told him from last week, which was that she was, you know, hoping that this relationship will move forwards sooner than later. And LaVon, who has had two quite tragic relationships before this, is still, you know, I guess afraid of being hurt. And he doesn't want to move too quickly. So, you know, in his own little LaVon way, he extends an olive branch and he says, look, and I have a cabinet for you in my house and I want you to share your stuff with me. And it's kind of cute, but it's another way of him saying, like, I want to move forward with you, but I'm just not in a rush. And Annabeth can accept that, but of course at the end of the day, she's a woman and she's going to be freaking out anyway, hoping that that day comes sooner than later. So these two are starting to get back on the right track, and hopefully they stay there, because it was a kind of a bumpy episode for them, and I'm glad that they're able to work it out. And then we had Lemon and her dad. And, you know, Lemon, of course, has been kind of flailing in the last few episodes. And, you know, she goes back to Fancy's and she wants to know who actually bought it out from, who outbid her. And then when she finds out, she goes to her dad and lets him know that Shelby is back in town. And guess what, everybody? She is pregnant. And let's all assume that it is Lemon's dad's baby because she is like around 7 months, and that would probably bring us back to the day when she broke his heart and left him. And I mean, it's kind of sad that she's pregnant and she didn't tell him because they were engaged, and I would think that they would, she would respect him enough to give him the honest truth about, maybe why she left or what's happened since she's left. So that was kind of weird that she has kept this from him. So all in all, it was an okay episode. But like I said, I really need the writers, and writers, please, just make Lindley a nice person. Make her somebody that I can root for. Because right now you've just made her so unbearable. And I want to root for them as a couple. All right? Please fix that for me. And I'll be on board. I really will. And then it's also Joel, send him back to New York or LA or wherever it is he's from. Because he's getting in the way of my Wade and my Zoe, and I don't like it. All right, guys, that's been my review of Hart of Dixie. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.